Good evening, everyone. Tonight is September, no it's not, it's October 24th. Tonight it is 7:01. It's the Halifax Finance Committee. We're being taped by Area 58. So, on the agenda tonight, we have mail, approval of meeting minutes, line item transfer / reserve fund transfers, school building project, tax rate discussion, budget discussion, Silver Lake land discussion, reorganization, Facebook Live, if we get to that, public participation, calendar, and adjournment. So, do we have any minutes that we can approve?
Possibly the ones from last month?
Yep.
Yep.
Just one, right?
Yep. No, we have a quorum for the last.
For the last month.
Just the
It was
very
the
last.
four of us, we had a short meeting.
Okay, yeah.
So these are the meeting minutes from Monday, September 26th. So anybody want to review them before we take a vote?
I looked at the
I
email.
read them online.
Okay. Is there a motion to accept as
So
printed?
moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Approved unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's done. On the mail, we have a copy of the Beacon from the month of October. Any other mail?
The mail is just the email that Charlie sent this afternoon about meeting with the selectmen.
Okay. I forgot my cell phone at home, so.
I have mine here. Charlie talked with the selectmen earlier this month about setting up a joint meeting with the finance committee to discuss the FY18 budget, and they favored coming to our meeting on Monday, November 28th. Does that work?
Okay. Does any work for everyone?
Yep.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind responding back when I know that works, we will have them on the agenda at 7:15. Any line item or reserve fund transfers?
None.
School building projects. So I attended the meeting, the first meeting, not this past Friday, but the previous one. They got a copy of the plans. They're gonna go through everything. They're gonna do a walkthrough of the whole building. It was discussed that we might change the scope of the work to include insulation and other things that we'd previously discussed here, but we brought it up at that meeting. So I am not sure when the next meeting date is, but once I get that, I will make sure to forward that on to everyone. Okay, tax rate discussion, I believe we had the previous meeting.
Correct.
Budget discussion, other than the fact that I would think that we're gonna see a large increase in retirement and health insurance is what I passed on to Silver Lake. Our enrollment numbers, which I need to scan and forward to everyone, our enrollment numbers for Silver Lake are decreasing, but the overall number of students in the district is actually increased because there's an increase in kids at the elementary school. So we will see our Silver Lake population decrease as a percentage, but when we look at the Union 31 numbers, we have an increase in the shared cost number. So that's part of the calculation of the Silver Lake budget. And it looks like for the next year, we'll also see a decrease in Silver Lake's numbers as well.
All right, so there's a decrease this year coming
There's a
up?
decrease this year for FY18, and there'll probably be a decrease in FY19 for Silver Lake as a whole, but we might see the Union 31 numbers increase. So they briefly discussed the budget. They will be in negotiations starting this week, I believe, with Silver Lake and also Halifax Elementary. So I didn't have a chance to point out to them that the Social Security numbers came out after that meeting, and it's a 0.3% increase. So the most anybody will receive is a $7 increase per month on their check. So just something to keep in mind. There was no increase the previous year, and the max will be a $7 increase for this year per month. So, anybody else have any discussions on budget issues?
The only other question I would have is the state numbers, the shortfall. Have we seen anything as to where they're going to make that up?
There are about $300 million in lower revenue received at this point in time, and there will probably be 9C cuts that will take place. I have not heard where those cuts will take place, but would point out that the governor's budget was overridden by the House and the Senate. So I'm not sure if those vetoes that they overrode will be cut. I'm not sure of the process because they overrode those vetoes, if he can make that cut again, or if he has to do a supplemental budget with the whole process of going back to the legislature. Because I think you would know where he would cut first would be the places that he made the vetoes. Maybe we should add that as an agenda item for the next meeting, is to see where the state revenue numbers are. And if there's any 9C cuts coming forward. The Silver Lake land deal discussion took place. It was different.
Heard it was animated.
It was a little animated. There was no vote taken to reconsider. There was only one member there that could have made that motion, and that motion was not made. Kingston has moved that article to their annual town meeting, which will be a week before our town meeting next year. They're going to have the first Saturday in May for their financial and for their bylaws, where previously they've been changing around the past few years. So they will be first to act on Silver Lake's budget this year, where previously they had been the last for the past 3 years. And their percentage has gone up by like almost 2%. So they will see a larger share of the increase this upcoming year. Plimpton as well actually went up by like 0.5 of a point, so that's pretty big to them. So there might be further discussion at some later point for Silver Lake and the land deal, but there was none taken at this meeting. Reorganization. So we have to elect a chair, a vice chair, and a clerk. Do we want to do that tonight, or do we want to wait for Linda?
It's not fair to vote her into an office when she's
Did it last year.
That's kind of mean.
So we want to wait?
I think it's probably prudent to wait.
Okay.
Nothing's going to change.
Okay, so with that reorg, we also need to do the liaison list as well. So we need to make sure that we get that done at our next meeting, so when we have the meeting with the selectmen, we know which department heads that everyone's going to speak with. Sandy, do you have anything for us?
Got our free cash certified,
Okay,
and it is $902,359.
that's a lot.
We had a lot of money turned back. There was about $100,000 turned back on the insurance line. And it was because we changed insurance companies.
Okay,
And the revenues came in high. We've talked about the excess.
Yep.
So it was
so were there a lot of other departments that turned in too?
a couple of other big lines, but not
Like the oil and gas line?
right. But as I explained to Mel, we spent some of that, so
Right.
it
Wasn't as
huge.
big a return?
Right. But I believe we had money back from the health insurance line too. But then the excise tax came in much higher than we expected. So that was a big deal. And we increased in the ambulance receipts
Yeah.
also. Where the year before we were at
Oh, that's right, we did do that.
201. This year we were at 310. So,
Do you have any idea what you estimated for that for last year?
oh, I had estimated very low, like 201 or 202,000.
So, okay,
For last year, and it came in at 310. So
okay. So that's where the biggest
That's
increases
one of the
are.
biggest increase,
'Cause-
yeah. The revenues were, so the revenues came in a lot more than what we estimated, and then we had that 100,000 turned back in. It helped to make up that big difference.
Yeah,
I don't expect it will be that high again next year,
okay,
so,
okay. Well, that's a pleasant surprise.
yeah.
Yes, but keep in mind, we have some pretty big ticket items
Well,
in the queue.
Yeah.
so
In the
to
queue for
speak.
capital plan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing then, if we have
right.
possible revenues. Anything else, sir, do you?
I don't know.
All right.
Okay. What's our next meeting?
2 weeks from today.
Yeah,
Correct.
November, hang on one second. November, actually, I have it as the 14th.
November 14th? Okay. And then we would,
I have us meeting the 14th and the 28th.
and the 20th.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to make sure that we reorg, liaison list, just a quick review of revenue for the state. Anything else for the next one?
Can you explain the liaison list to me, how that works?
So,
I saw the list,
so basically each person on the committee would take a department or a couple departments. So where you're going to the wage and personnel, I would
Already
just
have that one.
give you wage and personnel. That's a pretty big commitment to take on. I have been doing the 2 schools. I fell down on the other ones last year because I didn't really have enough time to go to their meetings. So if anybody else could take on water, that would be
I'd be willing
Willing
to take on fire,
okay.
kind of lighten your load.
Yeah, I had police, fire, and water last year. So with the 2 schools, it was a lot. And I really didn't get a chance to cover water well.
So do they usually have the meetings during the day or at night?
I met with both chiefs during the day, so that was kind of like an easy one. The schools meet at night, Monday night for Halifax Elementary, and then the second Thursday night for Sub Lake. So I'd like to keep those for now because crazy. And and we'll just go through the list and try to separate who can do what. We have agreements with the library over how they project revenue, and if there is a across-the-board wage increase, then we make an agreement with them how to. Their number has to increase by. It's not 2.5%, but maybe
It's a
2.24%
formula.
of what it increased
They take
previously.
the prior 3 years.
An average.
The average of that has to increase by a certain amount.
So there's an agreement there. Capital plan is a big one too. So hopefully we'll just be able to split these out and just everyone reach out and talk to the department heads and say, hey, I'm your liaison. Here's my email. Here's my cell phone. And,
Where do you want to spend your money?
So, I guess Sandy, if you have for the next meeting, just maybe give Kendra a copy of the final spreadsheet from last year. That way, we have the numbers from what we spent. We'll have a starting
Yeah.
point to look at what we were starting at. I think that's just about it.
Okay.
Do you have any interest in joining the finance committee, or?
Something, I haven't looked through what else is on the website, to play the finance committee or capital committee or something, I have interest.
Okay. My name's Gordon Andrews.
Mel Conroy.
Stu Hall.
Diane Braxton?
I'm Andrew Quincy.
Nice to meet you. Andrew.
Nice to meet you.
So if you're interested, fill out the talent bank form, and I guess we'd interview you, the selectmen would interview you. We currently have, I don't know if we currently have 2 openings, but we should
We're
have.
supposed to have two.
I don't know if we've officially got resignation letters from one. We know one didn't take the spot, so we have 2 openings on the committee. So if you're interested, let us know.
Yeah, I will.
Thanks.
Okay.
Wage and personnel has 2 openings.
I like these.
There's plenty of volunteering to be had for the town. And finance committee, wage and personnel, capital gives you a good opportunity to understand how the money's spent and what the procedures are to go into town meeting and where the money's actually spent. Does anybody have a motion?
This is officially Stu's motion, so.
Boy, it's not a good bullseye. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Nice. 18 minutes.